Hi friends, so this is Ellie with Joyous Vintage, and I figured I was going to do this research into what sold on eBay this summer anyway, and why not keep it not only for posterity but also for later reference. My initial attempt at streaming unfortunately was unsuccessful, so I am trying this now, and I think I'm seeing this showing as successful, I guess. So this is my YouTube telling me everything's fine, presumably. Okay, so what I was doing originally, I wanted to see what sold in a few categories. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get to every category I wanted to get to today, and I apologize for my ultra squeaky chair and for the cicadas outside going crazy if you can hear them. I hope you can't. Alright, so presumably you hear me. I see the green bar moving up and down for microphone. Alright, I'm going to proceed as if this is working well because, time is money and all. So what blazers sold in the last 90 days of summer in the men's category? So okay, I typed in blazer and chose in men's category suits and suit separates. And I'm going to choose pre-owned. Alright, so at the moment 280,000 blazers are listed as for sale. But how many of them sold? And what is so special about those blazers that they did sell as opposed to all the others? Okay, so 280k available, sold 39. So 280 divided by 40 is what? Let's say roughly 1 in 7 blazers sold. Okay, I am interested in only a certain price that was paid for the blazers because eBay takes quite a considerable cut. I would round it up to 30% of the total order value eBay keeps for itself. So given all the work that's involved in sourcing and listing and storing and shipping and packing and dealing with issues if there is a return, and there very often are returns just because somebody didn't like how an item looked in person. They're right, they're right. It's not worth to sell anything for under $50 for me anyway. So let's say minimum $50. Let's say 60. Let's imagine a better scenario from 60 to, I don't know, max. I don't want to limit myself. Let's see what happens if we narrow down to $60 minimum. What are we doing? Okay, let's see. There. So we have 14,000 blazers that sold in the last 90 days that sold for more than $60. So a few things immediately obvious, like Pendleton, vintage Pendleton wool, that's a factor. Plaid, that's a factor. And Isaiah is pretty much a designer label, blower and designer label, but designer label nonetheless. So Daniel Cremieux, the Loro Piana is what here is the driving factor. Brooks Brothers Seersucker. Seersucker is the bomb in summer. What is this? Luxury black monogram. I want to see what this is. Would I have recognized it as something? It looks weird. I would probably have taken a look. Gucci. GG. Okay. Alright. Good to know. Croft and Barrow. Croft and Barrow. Sold for $65? Like what? Pre-owned no less. Let's see. What is so special about that? I want to know because this is kind of crazy. So, okay, this is houndstooth, mini houndstooth. Yeah, 4 single vented, Croft and Barrow. Outer is polyester and viscose. That makes no sense. Polyester is not a good fabric. What am I missing? Polyester single vented. Okay, just for the heck of it, I want to see just the Croft and Barrow blazer. Just by itself. I don't want to enter my account. I can't even type anymore. Croft Barrow blazer. Men's. Pre-owned. At the moment, 367 are available, and how many sold altogether? Do I want to do minimum? No. I want to see the overall picture of what Croft and Barrow sells for. Sold. Yeah. So 32 results, 32 sold versus, I forgot how many were available. Oh, come on, eBay. Still showing me sold. They don't want solds. Alright, fine. 32. So 32 sold in summer. And let's see, sort by highest first. So Gun Club, what does that have to do with Croft and Barrow? I'm not familiar. Let's see. So Croft and Barrow, why is it? Oh, Gun Club, check. That's the name of the pattern. Good to know. I'm gonna mute myself when I have to cough. I got a badly sore throat right now, so I don't want to be coughing into your ears. Okay, so this one, what's the fabric content? Also polyester, according to the title. Polyester and viscose, 1% wool, and it's sold for $70. This is boggling my mind right now. Okay, so Croft and Barrow. Polyester, so mini brown houndstooth, mini houndstooth. So these guys are covering every base. Gun Club, check. Houndstooth, they're calling it 2 different things. I guess that will increase the visibility. The next one is 100% cotton. So gingham in cotton also sold. And Croft and Barrow Sport. This is a big boy blazer. This is a big boy blazer. This is a big boy blazer. This is a medium boy blazer. This is medium boy blazer. Well, medium slightly on a verge of a big boy blazer. At least that's how I categorize these things in my mind. Okay, so far so good. Another cotton 46L, then seersucker. So seersucker, even in Croft and Barrow, also sells. Okay. So really nice blue with gold buttons, $40. This is 40. Big boy blazer. Okay. So big boy blazer. Medium boy blazer. Herringbone. Okay, so we have a fall off. So let's say at 50. So cotton, textured wool camel hair. Okay, makes sense. Gingham seersucker. Okay, that makes sense. This kind of doesn't make sense. The Croft and Barrow blue and gold buttons. Croft and Barrow. It's sometimes very difficult for me anyway to sell Ralph Lauren navy blue gold buttons for that amount, but Croft and Barrow sold? Like what? Okay, and then it's basically what I expected, $29. Even though surprisingly it is also a big boy herringbone. Another big boy herringbone, houndstooth rather. This is another navy blue 52L poly rayon hopsack. Kinda makes me wonder if based on all these sales, this one sold for 64, this one sold for 69 at the end of June though. So timing is also key. And then the rest is pretty much what I expected. I suppose the Croft and Barrow blazers for summer are gonna have to be looked up on the spot at the time. Because look at the spread of the pricing. 1047, 799, 799, 799, 455 versus 69.97. So I would probably imagine that you have to really make sure that you are checking the comps, because otherwise, hoping to get a $70 sale, you're gonna end up with a $8 sale. Nobody wants that, right? Especially if you're thrifting at a Goodwill, like my Goodwill, you can never find a blazer below $9 per blazer. Croft and Barrow or Armani, or what was the other one? Yves Saint Laurent. Alright, so Croft and Barrow, it's gonna have to be looked up. If there's nothing better than that on the shelf, I'll look that up. Alright, took a sip of tea there. Okay, Croft and Barrel. Red herring. Okay. So, vintage Yves Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent, Saint Laurent. Brown velvet blazer. Is it velvet or corduroy? I'm curious. It is velvet. Okay. So I know some of the Yves Saint Laurent blazers don't really sell all that great. Let's see what we can find. If only I could type. Some men's clothing. Suits and separates. Alright, now I'm only interested in blazers. Pre-owned. So 1400 results available at the moment. Ooh, this is a pretty one. Very pretty. Okie dokie, let's say want no less than $60. So that's okay, 1,000. And that's available ones, 1,000. But what sold? So we have 1,000 available right now. And if we're looking at sold, only 145. That makes sense. It's a pretty low sell-through rate. Calculator. Let's say This is like under 2%. Was it 145? Yeah. Okay, it was 7. Can't even calculate. What am I doing exactly? Let's see. So 100% is 1,000, and 14.145 is. I need a sheet of paper. So 1,000 is 100%, and 145 x equals x. So it's 14,500 divided. Okay, where are we? Clear, clear, clear. 14,500 divided by. So under 15%. Not the greatest. So let's see what's sold. I want to see what's sold, the highest sold. So this is a suit, not a blazer. We're not looking at that then. So this is vintage, true vintage. How did they determine that? Okay, the cut. The vest. That's a suit, $470. Okay. So that's what Yves Saint Laurent label looked like in the 70s. Good to know. Okay, that's a suit, not a blazer. Can I? Yeah, suits and suit separates. Okay, so that's a suit. I know what this is. You guys use Photo Room? You can upload a picture of the item in Photo Room and choose a model, and Photo Room will dress the AI model in your item. So blazer, basic coat. Is it just a blazer or is it a full suit? I cannot tell. Yeah, AI is really not doing us many favors. Size 7 on the jacket? What does that even mean? So yeah, $449 it's sold. So this is a contemporary label. Okay, that makes no sense. I don't understand why it would fetch $450. So this is a suit, also a suit. They're saying vintage. What did the label look like? I want to see. Show me the label. Okay. Aha. Well, I guess this one does not say vintage. Alright. So, pure wool striped. This isn't really striped. Wouldn't you say this is Glen plaid? Okay. And this is another vintage suit by Yves Saint Laurent. Another one of the labels. I really wish they would mention how vintage the vintage is. Do we have any information in the description? No. Okay. What else? Another 3-piece. Yes, 2-piece. Pinstripe. Okay, this looks like almost like a tuxedo jacket. Not a tuxedo jacket, like a smoking jacket, I guess. Velvet peak lapels. This one, another vintage gray flannel. And of course, as with all vintage things, I want to see the labels. Oh, interesting. Okay, so another one. I want to see the label. What does the label look like? Ah, we recognize that now. Okay. Another suit. So velvet seems to be of value in Yves Saint Laurent. Surgeon's cuffs. What does that mean? Okay. Oh, I love me those apps that allow you to do that. People often wonder, how do you measure your items? You put these measurements into your description, but how did you measure stuff? Whoa, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So it's partly lined. Hmm. I wonder if this is a newer label. I am not sure. I don't know much about Yves Saint Laurent, and that's being very generous. So another three-piece suit. So tweed, herringbone tweed. I suspected that that would add value, and it did. So Yves Saint Laurent, herringbone tweed, 40R slit. What does the label look like? Bloomingdale's, the label looks a little newer, yes. Okay. So I'm going through what's sold for Yves Saint Laurent to see if you encounter something at a thrift store, if it's worth picking up, because the sell-through rate is under 15%. Not exactly the bomb, but some things do sell well. So another suit, this one is under $200. Aha, let's see, this is a good style. Double-breasted with gold buttons. And we have these peak lapels. And is this vintage? Because somebody who listed their item as vintage had a label that looked like that. But just because somebody says something is vintage doesn't make it so, and vice versa. So this is navy and gold buttons. That's a winning combination, generally. And I guess when combined with a recognizable name like this and 100% wool and a fairly good big boy size, it's okay. Double-breasted, deep blue, gold buttons, newer label, 100% wool, larger size. So that's what we have for Yves Saint Laurent, I think. So another pinstripe. Okay, this is definitely vintage. Okay. Another navy blue blazer. This is a suit. Another suit. Navy blue vintage blazer. 60R, really good big boy size. Okay, brown blue check. Very nice looking, distinct looking blazer. Another one of those label variations that I'm going to try to memorize. I apologize, I have to mute myself ever so often. My throat is not doing great. Maybe today was not the right day to do this, but research has to be done no matter what your throat feels like. So this one looks really funky. I would have picked it up for sure. And now that I know that this is a 70s Yves Saint Laurent label, in combination with this funky color, funky pattern, those big wide lapels, I would definitely pick that up. Even if I had to sit on it, somebody probably would have picked it up. Ocean, New Jersey. Okay. Duly noted, Your Honor. So, tuxedo. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Again, another navy blue. Big boy size. Okay. Navy stripe. Is this a suit or is it just a blazer? Suit. Okay, that makes sense. Yes. Yes, we've seen this label already. Somebody listed that as a vintage item. Okay. So velvet dinner jacket, yeah, always fire. Blue again. Vintage suit. Ooh, look at those lapels. Oof. Big boy blazer. Although, the thing is, it may be listed as 52, but European sizing versus American sizing is like full 10 points smaller in real life versus American sizing. So this is a double-breasted peak lapels. We've already seen a peak lapels double-breasted thing. This one has issues. Okay. Let's see. Barely noticeable moment on the sleeve. 4.5 photos. Okay, I might have to borrow that wording for myself. Do they have the measurements? I don't see the measurements here. Did they include them in here? I want to see if what is listed as 52, French size 52, in real life measurements is anything similar to what we would expect. But we don't have the measurements. Okay. So, double-breasted peak lapels. Another velvet. Perfect, that makes sense. A suit. Okay. Another navy blue with gold buttons. Okay. Double-breasted peak lapels. Same thing here. Navy blue pleated pants. So this is a suit. Okay. Does this one have measurements? I am now super curious. This looks like a tuxedo jacket. Double-breasted again. Peak lapels. Do we have the measurements? Does anybody have the measurements for us? Okay, not in the pictures. Ah, there we go. So pit to pit 56. So wait a minute. What is this? Is this inches or centimeters? Because these are terribly small. Okay, well this doesn't help at all. What is this? Okay, that's useless. And this does not look like inches, so this is probably 56 centimeters. What is 56 centimeters to inches? 22. 22 inches. That makes that a 42 size American blazer. That's one heck of a difference. Okay. Good to know. Another suit. Bespoke suit. Another suit. Okay. So, what is so special about this one? Brown, I guess, is the special part. Tan wool. Oh, Donegal tweed. That's a good one. Elbow patches. Okay. I want to see the label. Yep, there it is. Recognizable brown label. Bronze and brown. That's vintage 70s Yves Saint Laurent. Good to know. Okay, suit, 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 suit. Dark blue, okay. Beige, blue pinstripe. So blue is very popular. Navy blue again. Looks like gold buttons. In Poland, okay. Let's see. Tweed. Okay, so tweed is a good thing to run into. So navy blue, double-breasted, peak lapels. This is a suit. Velvet, okay. Another velvet. Wool. Gray peak lapels, double-breasted again, okay. Velour. Another double-breasted with peak lapels. Velvet. Double-breasted peak lapels, okay. Vintage. Let's see that label. I want to see the label. Cute. Okay. Okay. Velvet. Tuxedo. Dinner jacket. Yes. Another blue and gold buttons. Another double-breasted peak lapels. Okay. Tuxedo jacket. IYKYK hype. Okay. A Russian dude is selling this. Okay. Vintage navy peak lapel wool. Okay, they love navy. What does the label look like? Aha! We recognize this now, don't we? Okay, suit by Yves Saint Laurent, $400. Sure. Another Donegal tweed. Let's see, is that the same label as we've seen? Aha! They're saying this is 70s, but the label doesn't look like it's from the 70s, does it? Although the lettering on Macy's. Okay, velvet. Herringbone tweed blazer. Alright, so that's a factor. 60s. Are you saying that this is a 60s label? Let's see. If only we could confirm. If you know, please comment. Okay, herringbone blazer, so tweed. Again, peak lapels. Vintage. What does the label look like? We've seen this too. Okay. Another double-breasted peak lapels. Good, good. Hopsack is another factor. Yes. Do you see this interesting texture? So that's hopsack. That's a factor. As a matter of fact, I have an item in my inventory that I'm selling that I listed unfortunately as burlap instead of hopsack. I will be rectifying that mistake soon. Okay, another velvet, dark academia, vintage, sure. Another double-breasted peak lapels, navy blue, no, black. Let's see. Black with navy inside, okay. Tweed. This looks like a women's blazer, okay. Another tweed. Another double-breasted peak lapels, tweed. Navy blue, okay, that makes sense. Vintage. How vintage is this vintage? Yes, we know what that is. Okay. Oh, that's definitely very vintage. I want to see the label. Ah, there we go. Yes. Velvet. Tuxedo jacket makes sense. Those do cost more. Ah, so linen wool. Herringbone. Linen, okay. Navy blue again. What is this rive gauche that they mention? What does it say? Ah, there it is. Another double-breasted peak lapels. Pinstripe. Pinstripe. Gray check. Yes. Wool cashmere. I think that's the thing. Another pinstripe. Tweed again. Tweed with elbow patches. Another double-breasted one. Navy blue with gold buttons. Okay, now we're beginning to see the usual suspects. Tweed. Another tweed. In summer, no less. Cashmere wool. Okay. It says vintage. What does the label look like? Okay. Another tweed. Another double-breasted peak lapels. Double-breasted peak lapels, navy blue gold buttons. So that's what we're having. So in Yves Saint Laurent. Okay, I am going to write this down. That we're looking for in Yves Saint Laurent vintage tweed double breasted with peak lapels, navy blue plus gold buttons. Okay, tuxedo jackets. And velvet. Okay, so pinstripe. So that is what we have among the Yves Saint Laurent blazers that's sold in summer. That's what unites them. Okay. Let's see, can I do this through more filters? Okay. So sizing, what is the highest number that's sold and what size was that in? 42. That kind of didn't give me much of anything, so by brand, let's see. Britney Studio always makes me laugh. Just a bank sold for over $60 in summer. 255 items. Alan Edmonds makes blazers? I did not know. Armani Collezioni, Armani Exchange sold less than just a bank. Very, very curious. Oh my, can I filter this? No, I cannot. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I had a shirt by, how do you pronounce this? Jahane Barnes? That's set for 2 years. It's kind of crazy. So Jean-Paul Gaultier. So what sold most? I'm looking at the thing. So J. Crew, the highest sold by number. Vineyard Vines, barely anything. Okay. Van Heusen, Versace. I would be so scared of buying something terrible that isn't a real Versace. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm doing this. Okay, 1, 2, 7, 20. No. Okay. Let's see Joseph Aboud. Jose Banks. Probably we're most likely to encounter them in our thrifting adventures. And Armani barely a dent. Land's End barely a dent. Okay, Ralph Lauren. Okay, so far it looks like the leader in all the things that sold. In blazers and men's for the last 90 days, I have to make that distinction. I'm not even choosing Loro Piana because the second we see the words, we'll grab that. Luciano Barbera, 24. What else? Let's see what else. What other brands are sold in high numbers? Bonobos, okay. Brooks Brothers, 1200. So it's Brooks Brothers first, then Ralph Lauren. What else? Barely any Patagonia for over $60, okay. Charles Turwitt, 40. Peter Millar, okay. Fairly high number. I don't understand why Club Room doesn't get more credit for its quality items. Because they have good quality, it's just they're not terribly popular, which I guess means that if you're a fan of Club Room like myself, this is a chance to get good quality items at a low price. Polo Ralph Lauren, okay. 496, sold in the last 90 days, okay. Ralph Lauren, Black Label, yeah, we'll be grabbing that, we don't have to know that. What else? Oh, what are they doing outside? What is that noise? Okay, what else? Okay, Ermenegildo Zegna. Good brand for sure. What is with these squirrels? Why are they screeching like that? Tasso Elba, only 8 items over $60. Even though they have good linen. I don't understand. Todd Snyder, 40. Only 40 sold in the 90-day period for over $60. But that's more than Tommy Bahama. Okay. Hart Schaffner Marks. Valentino House. Okay. Hugo Boss. 280 items. Okay. I want to see. I want to see what they sold. Isaiah. Or is it Isaiah? I don't know. Vineyard Wines. Barely any. Okay. Okay, so we've been here. Okay. I want to see where Canali is on this list. Canali. Oh, there it is. 536. I missed it. Okay. So, Jose Bank. To be honest, this is completely wild to me. Maybe we should pay more attention to it. So the usual suspects so far: plaids, navy blues with gold buttons. Canali is basically a designer line that probably the only way I could afford is if I was buying it used. But this? What? Plaid. Okay. This is a suit, not a blazer. Can I... Let me see. Can I make... No, I can't. It's the same category. I cannot separate blazers from suits. Okay, this is a suit. Linen. Okay. J. Crew Ludlow Moon. Herringbone tweed. So tweed again. Window pane, Peter Millar. Okay. RRL, that's a... Let's see, what label are we talking about here? Ooh. Oh yeah, Ralph Lauren. Okay, that makes sense. Canali, Ludlow. Okay. Wool silk linen, brown plaid, unstructured blazer. Uh-huh. Rita wool, 48R, gray plaid, check blazer, super 110. Okay. Ralph Lauren, tuxedo jacket, makes sense. It's Ralph Lauren, the main line, and then it's a tuxedo jacket, sure. Brooks Brothers, herringbone tweed. Tweed again, okay. Canali, makes sense. Wool silk linen, perfect. Brooks Brothers, 1818 Fitzgerald. Plaid. So I guess it goes by the model in Brooks Brothers. What is so special about this? Oh, I guess this is an excellent pattern to keep an eye out. August 23rd. Wool. Okay. So navy blazer. Polo Ralph Lauren. Okay. Peter Millar. Big boy. Okay. Bonobos Jet Setter. Glen Plaid. Polo Ralph Lauren corduroy. That's a good combo. This is a suit. This is a velvet dinner jacket. Hugo Boss. Okay, so velvet dinner jacket. Anytime we see it, we pick it up. Okay. J. Crew men's suit. Abraham Moon. Abraham Moon. Mm, it's very nice. So it's a suit for less than 150. Good price. Ludlow. Ah, that's what Abraham Moon is. Okay. It's a store. Peter Millar, I'm picking up pretty much all blazers at this point. Brookies, well, okay, Brooks needs to be looked up by model. Ooh, Laura Piana, okay. Where was that indicated? I'm curious. Wow, navy blue, gold buttons, Laura Piana. Killer combo, killer combo. Aha, so it is indicated easily. You don't have to hunt for this label. You can see it. Peter Millar, suit, okay. Oh, I love this pattern. Really like it. Blue check, Regent Fit, Rida. So Ermenegildo Zegna. Cashmere linen, interesting combo. Why would you put linen into cashmere? What does that do? Provided with sturdiness? I don't know. Okay. Ralph Lauren, big boy linen blazer. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Canali no-brainer. Polo Ralph Lauren linen, also no-brainer. Linen no-brainer. Canale polo. Again, this crazy pattern. That must be it. Ooh, look at this pattern. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So sometimes a pattern will be more important than the name of the brand. I'm learning as I'm going through this. I hope you are too. Bonobos navy blue. J. Crew Ludlow. We've seen that already. Laura Piana. Peter Millar. Brooks Brothers. Yep. Vintage. Okay, how could you tell that it was vintage? I want to see. Show me. How can you tell it's vintage? Where does it say? Ludlow again. Oh, nice big crest. Navy blue gold buttons. Okay, Peter Millar, wool, silk, cashmere, sport KK 10. Sweet. Big boy blazer. Okay. Tweed herringbone. Alright. Unstructured linen silk jacket. Ooh, oh my god, that's so pretty. Oh my god, that is so pretty. Let's see. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous blue. Wow, that is just gorgeous blue. I love that blue. Of course, I would have picked it up if I came across it. I probably would have kept it for myself, too. Okay, so Laurent Ralph Lauren, big boy blazers. Important. Again, Laura Piana, no brainer. But it was linen. I usually look at linen blazers and I look them up. I've never come across bonobos linen blazers at this point yet. Okay. Elbow patches. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna pause here. My throat is killing me. I'm going to try to do this again when I feel a little better because I would like to know what's sold in summer so I am better equipped over the cooler months when I'm thrifting so I can grab stuff and be ready for summer. sweet. Okay. Alright, my friends, I am going to say thank you for being here with me or watching this after this wraps up. I hope we can catch up again soon. Have a good